You want to talk about your childhood, but your mind goes blank? Today, we give you easy English phrases to share your stories.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Loud English channel, where learning English is easy and fun. I'm Emily.
And I'm Paul. Today in this lesson, we are going to talk about how to talk about your childhood in English. Easy English speaking practice. But before we get started, we have a small favor to ask our friends listening.
On this channel, we help you practice real, everyday English. If you enjoy learning English with us, please click the like button and subscribe to the Loud English channel. It truly helps us a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Really, it means a lot to us and helps more friends learn English.
And remember, English can be simple and it can also be fun and relaxed.
Yeah, no stress. Just a friendly English conversation together.
So today we talk about childhood. I like this topic so much.
Me too. I love stories from when people were kids.
Also, talking about your childhood is great English speaking practice.
And it's perfect English for beginners because you can use very simple past sentences.
Later in this lesson, I want to share one secret sentence I always use when I talk about my childhood.
Oh, the secret already. I know this one, and it is very powerful.
So stay with us because that sentence can really help your English conversation.
All right, first question for you, Emily. When you hear childhood, what is the first picture in your mind?
I see a small girl with a big backpack walking to school and eating a cookie.
That sounds exactly like you.
Yes, maybe it is me.
When I think about my childhood, I see a little boy playing soccer in the street until it gets dark.
I can see that. Your mom probably says, "Paul, come home now."
Yes, every evening. She was the boss.
So, friends, to talk about your childhood in English, we usually use very simple past tense.
We use phrases like when I was a child, when I was little, and when I was a kid.
These are very important English phrases. You will use them many times.
Let's practice one. Repeat after me, slowly. When I was a child.
When I was a child.
Good. Now a little faster. When I was a child.
When I was a child.
Nice. If you say this, people know you are talking about your childhood.
Now let's build a full sentence. I will start. When I was a child, I loved cookies.
Very true.
So the pattern is when I was a child, I plus a verb.
For example, when I was a child, I played outside every day.
Or when I was a child, I watched cartoons every morning.
This is really easy English speaking practice. Simple sentences, but they tell a story.
And they are great for English conversation when you meet a new friend and want to share your life.
Now, I want to give you a little surprise. There is another simple phrase that sounds very natural.
Oh yes, this one sounds very friendly and personal.
But I will not say it yet. We will use it in a small story in a minute.
So stay a bit longer and you will get that little gift.
You are doing great so far, by the way.
Yes, every minute you listen, your English gets stronger.
Now, we need one more important verb for childhood stories. It is used to.
Used to shows something that was true in the past many times, but not now.
For example, I used to climb trees.
Or, I used to be very shy.
Wait, were you really shy?
Yes, very shy. When I was a child, I hid behind my mom when people said hello.
That is very cute.
I was the opposite. I used to talk to everyone.
Of course you did.
Now, there is one very common mistake with used to. We will talk about it a little later.
Ah, yes. Many learners say it in a wrong way.
So listen for that because it will make your English sound much better.
Before that, let's tell a short story. This will feel like real English conversation.
Okay, Emily, you start. Use when I was a child and used to.
All right. When I was a child, I used to read under the table.
Under the table?
Yes, I made a little house with a blanket. It was my secret place.
That is adorable.
My mom always said, "Emily, where are you?" And I was under the table with my book.
Nice. Now I try. When I was a child, I used to play soccer after school.
I used to play soccer after school. Very clear.
My shoes were always dirty, my clothes were always dirty, but I was very happy.
So friends, do you hear the pattern? When I was a child, I used to.
Let's practice together. Repeat after me. When I was a child, I used to.
When I was a child, I used to.
Good. Now you can add your own verb in your mind.
Maybe I used to draw. I used to dance. I used to play video games.
Now I want to give you the first secret sentence we talked about.
Ah, yes, my favorite one.
Instead of when I was a child, you can also say when I was little.
This sounds very soft and natural. Many native speakers say this.
For example, when I was little, I was scared of the dark.
Or, when I was little, I wanted to be a singer.
Let's practice it. Repeat after me. When I was little.
When I was little.
Again, a bit faster. When I was little.
When I was little.
Great job. See, you can say this too.
Yes, this is simple English for beginners, but it feels very real.
Now, remember I said there is another simple phrase that sounds very natural?
Yes, the little surprise.
The phrase is, I remember.
Ah, I remember.
You can start a childhood story like this. I remember when I was little, my dad told me funny stories at night.
Or, I remember my first day of school.
We can join them. I remember my first day of school. I was so nervous.
These are great English phrases for stories.
Let's practice I remember. Repeat after me. I remember.
I remember.
Again. I remember.
I remember.
Good. Every time you use I remember, your English story sounds more interesting.
You're doing really well so far.
Now, let's talk about some simple topics for childhood stories.
Yes, you do not need big, serious stories. Simple is good.
We can talk about where we lived, our family, our school, and our favorite games or food.
Let's start with where I lived.
To start, you can say, when I was a child, I lived in. For example, when I was a child, I lived in a small town.
Or, when I was a child, I lived in an apartment on the 5th floor. How about you, Emily? Where did you live?
When I was a child, I lived in a small house near a big park.
That sounds nice.
It was great. I used to ride my bike in that park after school.
Here's my example. When I was a child, I lived in a big city.
So, friends, you can see the structure is the same. When I was a child, I lived in, plus the place. This is very good English speaking practice for the past tense.
Now, let's talk about family in childhood.
We can say, I grew up with. This means the people in your home.
For example, I grew up with my grandparents.
Or, I grew up with 2 sisters and 1 brother.
How about you?
I grew up with my parents and my younger brother.
Was your brother noisy?
Very noisy. He used to jump on the sofa all the time.
Poor sofa.
Yeah, the sofa cried.
I grew up with my parents and 1 older sister.
Was she kind to you?
Sometimes. And sometimes she stole my toys.
Classic big sister.
So friends, you can say, I grew up with my mom and dad, or I grew up with my cousins, and so on.
These are simple English phrases, but very useful for real life.
Now let's talk about school in your childhood.
A simple way is, when I was at school, and then add an action.
For example, when I was at school, I loved science.
Or, when I was at school, I was bad at math.
That one is me. I was really bad at math.
Same here. High five.
We can also say, my favorite subject was,
For example, my favorite subject was English.
or my favorite subject was music.
Friends, these are great for easy English conversation when someone asks about your childhood.
And if you are still learning, this is nice English for beginners. Simple and clear.
Now, remember I said there is a common mistake with used to?
Yes, we have to talk about it now.
Many learners say, I used to play soccer in the past, but this is not correct.
Right. In the past, we say used to with a D sound.
So we say, I used to play soccer. I used to read a lot. I used to be very quiet.
Some people also say, I was used to play soccer. That is also not correct here.
Just remember this pattern. I used to plus the simple verb. Let's repeat. I used to play outside.
I used to play outside.
Again, your turn at home.
Next sentence, slow. I used to read comic books.
I used to read comic books.
Great. Now your English is more correct and more natural.
See, you can fix small mistakes step by step.
Every time you fix one small thing, you get more confidence.
Now, another important part of childhood stories is feelings.
Yes, not only actions, but feelings like happy, sad, scared, excited, lonely.
These are easy words, but they make your story more real.
For example, when I was a child, I was very shy.
When I was a child, I was excited about birthdays.
When I was a child, I was scared of big dogs.
We can also say, I felt happy. I felt nervous. I felt proud.
For example, I remember my first bike. I felt so proud.
Or, on my first day of school, I felt very nervous.
Let's practice one. Repeat after me. I felt so happy.
I felt so happy.
Again, I felt so scared.
I felt so scared.
Good. When you add feelings, your English conversation becomes more interesting.
Now, I want to give you another small secret.
Oh, another one.
Yes, there is one more common mistake with childhood stories. We will talk about it a little later.
This one is about when I was and When I am.
Yes, I hear this mistake a lot.
So keep listening, and we will fix it soon.
You are doing amazing right now.
Okay, let's do a short role play. We meet, and we talk about our childhood.
Good idea. Simple English conversation.
I start. Hey, Emily. What were you like as a child?
When I was a child, I was very quiet, but I loved books.
Really? What did you do after school?
I used to go to the park and read under a tree.
That sounds peaceful.
Yeah. What about you? What were you like as a child?
When I was little, I was very active. I used to play soccer and run everywhere.
Did you get in trouble sometimes?
Yes, I remember one time I broke a window with the ball.
Oh no!
I felt so scared. My dad was not happy.
That is a good mini story, and it uses many childhood phrases.
So friends, you can copy this style. Ask and answer simple questions about your childhood.
Use phrases like, what were you like as a child? When I was a child, I remember.
These are very strong English phrases for everyday talk.
Now, let's give our friends some focused speaking practice.
Good idea. We will say a full sentence. Then, you repeat.
First, slow. When I was a child, I lived in a small house.
When I was a child, I lived in a small house.
Again, your turn at home.
Next sentence, slow. I used to play with my friends after school.
I used to play with my friends after school.
Again, your turn at home.
Third sentence. I remember my first day of school.
I remember my first day of school.
One more. I felt so nervous, but also excited.
I felt so nervous, but also excited.
Very nice. This is easy English speaking practice, but it really helps.
Yes, small steps, big change.
Now, let's talk about good childhood memories.
We can use phrases like, my favorite memory is, or one of my best memories is.
For example, my favorite childhood memory is playing cards with my grandma.
Or, one of my best memories is going to the beach with my family.
Let's practice. Repeat after me. My favorite childhood memory is.
My favorite childhood memory is.
Again, one of my best memories is.
One of my best memories is.
Great! See, you can build long, beautiful sentences now.
You really can. You should feel proud of yourself.
Now, sometimes childhood is not only happy. There can be difficult memories too.
Yes, that's true, and it is okay to talk about them if you want.
We can use soft phrases like, it was hard for me when, or I felt lonely when.
For example, it was hard for me when we moved to a new city.
Or, I felt lonely when my best friend changed schools.
If you want to keep it light, you can also say, it was not easy, but I learned a lot.
That is a nice positive ending.
Now we need to fix that other common mistake we talked about.
Right. Many people say, when I am a child, or when I am young, to talk about the past.
But for past time, we say, when I was a child, when I was young.
Am is for now. Was is for the past.
So, not when I am a child, I play outside, when you talk about history.
You should say, when I was a child, I played outside.
Let's do a quick mini quiz between us.
Okay, I'm ready.
I say a sentence, and you say if it is good or bad. When I am a child, I was shy.
That is bad. We need was. So, when I was a child, I was shy.
Good. Next one. When I was a child, I watched cartoons every day.
That is good.
Last one. When I was a child, I used to ride my bike.
Bad. We need used to. So, when I was a child, I used to ride my bike.
Exactly. Friends, listen to these and notice the small changes.
When you speak, try to say was and used to clearly.
You are getting better and better.
Now, I want to show you how to connect childhood with now.
Ah, yes. This is great for English conversation.
We can use sentences like back then, but now.
For example, when I was a child, I was shy. Back then, I hated speaking in front of people. But now, I enjoy it.
Or when I was little, I used to hate vegetables. Back then, I only ate pizza. But now, I like healthy food.
That one is also me, sadly.
Now you like vegetables, right?
I try.
Let's give a pattern. When I was a child, but now I.
For example, when I was a child, I played video games all day. But now, I work all day.
That is many adults, I think.
Yes, true.
Friends, try to think like this in your mind. Past you, now you.
It helps you speak more and share more.
This is great to learn English and also to know yourself better.
Now I want to share another little secret to make your childhood stories more fun.
Ooh, I'm curious.
There is a small sentence you can add at the end of your story, and it makes people smile.
We will show it soon after one more practice.
Yes, a little suspense there.
You are doing great. Stay with us.
Okay, more practice. Now we will make 3-sentence stories.
The pattern is place, action, feeling.
I will do one first. When I was a child, I lived near the beach. I used to swim every weekend. I felt so free.
Nice. Now I try. When I was a child, I lived in the countryside. I used to help my grandma in the garden. I felt very calm.
That sounds beautiful.
Your turn at home in your mind. Think, where did you live? What did you do? How did you feel?
You do not need perfect grammar. Simple is okay.
Yes, the goal is easy English speaking practice, not perfect English.
Now let's add funny or silly childhood moments.
Oh, this is fun.
We can use phrases like, one funny thing is, or a silly thing I did was.
For example, one funny thing is I used to talk to my toys.
Or a silly thing I did was cut my own hair.
Did you really do that?
Yes, I looked like a pineapple.
I want to see that picture.
No, never.
Friends, these phrases help you sound friendly in English conversation.
Let's practice. Repeat after me. One funny thing is.
One funny thing is.
Again, a silly thing I did was.
A silly thing I did was.
Great. You can use these to make people laugh a little.
Now, you promised a small secret sentence that makes people smile.
Yes. The sentence is, those were good times.
Ah, I love this one.
After you tell a nice childhood story, you can say, those were good times.
For example, we used to eat ice cream every Sunday. Those were good times.
Or, I played in the street with my friends until dark. Those were good times.
It feels warm and a little emotional.
Let's practice it. Repeat after me. Those were good times.
Those were good times.
Again, a bit faster. Those were good times.
Those were good times.
Nice. You can say this too, and it sounds very natural.
You are doing so well. You can be proud of your English.
Now, many of our friends like clear steps, so let's give a simple model for a childhood story.
Okay. Step 1, start with time. When I was a child, or when I was little, or I remember.
Step 2, say the place or people. I lived in, I grew up with.
Step 3, say the action. I used to, I played, I loved.
Step 4, add a feeling. I felt, I was.
Step 5, add a closing line like, those were good times, or it was not easy, but I learned a lot.
Let's do a full example with this model.
Okay. When I was little, I lived in a small town. I grew up with my parents and my brother. I used to ride my bike after school. I felt very free. Those were good times.
That is a wonderful short story, and the English is simple.
And you can build your own story in the same way.
This is very helpful if you want to learn English for beginners and speak about your life.
Now, let's practice pronunciation a little bit, especially with childhood.
Yes, good idea. Many people say it in a hard way.
Listen, child plus hood. Childhood.
Repeat after me. Childhood.
Childhood.
Again. Childhood.
Childhood.
Good. And the phrase, my childhood. Repeat. My childhood.
My childhood.
One more. In my childhood.
In my childhood.
Great. Now you can say, in my childhood, I lived near the sea. Or,
In my childhood, I spent a lot of time with my grandparents.
these are nice English phrases to sound natural.
I want to ask you something, Paul. What is one favorite smell from your childhood?
Oh, good question. Bread. Fresh bread in the morning.
That sounds so good.
My mom used to make bread on Sundays. I remember waking up and smelling it. I felt so happy.
See? Simple story, strong feelings.
How about you? A favorite childhood smell?
For me, it is the smell of rain on the street. When I was a child, I used to stand near the window and watch the rain.
That is a very calm picture.
Yes, it makes me feel peaceful even now.
Friends, you can also think about small things like smells, sounds, or colors from your childhood.
They make your English conversation deeper, even with simple words.
Now, we are coming close to the end, but I still have one more small tip.
Another tip? Nice.
There is one more small secret to make your story clear. We will talk about it very soon.
Okay, but first, I want to say something to our friends.
Go ahead.
If childhood is a difficult topic for you, that is okay. You can choose happy parts or simple neutral parts.
Yes, you can say things like, my childhood was simple, or my childhood was not always easy, but I learned a lot.
Exactly. You decide what to share. You control your story.
And you still get good English speaking practice.
Every time you speak about your life, your English becomes more natural.
Now that last small secret I promised.
Yes, tell us.
When you tell a childhood story, try to keep the time in the past. Do not jump between past and now too fast.
So if you start with when I was a child, keep saying was, lived, played, felt.
Many learners start in the past but then move to present. Like, when I was a child, I live in a village, and I play outside.
To fix this, think, old you is past, so use past verbs.
Let's change that wrong sentence. When I was a child, I lived in a village and I played outside.
Much better. We can feel the time is clear now.
This small secret helps people understand your story quickly.
See? One small change, stronger English.
You are doing great. You stayed with us for a long time today.
Yes, and you practiced many useful English phrases.
I am really proud of everyone listening.
Me too. Remember, you do not need perfect grammar. You just need courage to speak.
Every time you practice, you are building real confidence.
Small steps create big changes in your English.
And your childhood stories are important. They are a part of you.
Before we finish, let's give one more example each, a final short childhood story.
Good idea. You go first.
When I was little, I lived in a small house near a park. I grew up with my parents and my brother. I used to read books under a tree. I felt safe and happy. Those were good times.
That is so sweet.
Thank you. Now your turn.
When I was a child, I lived in a busy city. I grew up with my parents and my sister. I used to play soccer in the street with my friends. I felt free and strong. Those were good times.
I can see little Paul running with the ball.
And falling and standing up again.
Friends, you can make a story like this too.
You really can. Just use the simple patterns we practiced.
Let's take a look at the topics we've discussed so far.
We talked about phrases to start childhood stories, how to use was and were and used to, ways to describe where you lived and who you grew up with, simple sentences for school, games, and family, easy ways to share good and difficult memories with feelings, and a few small secrets to make your childhood stories clear, natural, and warm.
If you want more English conversation practice, you can watch another lesson after this one.
In our other lessons, we also use real-life topics to help you learn English in a simple way.
If this video helped you, please like it, subscribe, share it with your friends, and turn on the notification bell so you do not miss new lessons.
And if you want, you can leave a comment and share one short childhood sentence using "when I was a child" or "I remember."
Keep practicing and stay confident.
See you in the next lesson.